Hello and welcome to episode 56 of the Made by Mumina podcast. My name is Catherine and as usual I'm filming this little knitting podcast from Mönchengladbach in Germany, where I live permanently with my partner, although I'm originally from Wales in the UK. So a huge welcome to you if you're new here and a very warm welcome back if you've been here before. Today I don't think I have any finished objects to show you. But I've got a few new sneaky cast-ons, an old WIP that I've pulled out, well, oldish WIP. And also, I decided to film a little yarn stash tour. A couple of people asked me about it a little while ago. So I'm going to a yarn festival next week, so I thought it was a good opportunity to go through my stash, see what I had. Because I live in a really small apartment and I don't have one place where all my wool and fibre and things lives. So I don't really see it all together very often. So I pulled it all out, sorted it all through and everything, laid it out on the sofa, and then had a little moment. Yeah, I've got quite a few sweater quantities of yarn, to be honest. So it gave me a good idea of maybe what I might be looking for when I go to the yarn festival next week. Anywho, welcome and thank you for choosing to spend your time with me here today. Let's get started. As usual, I will put chapters in, so if there are any bits that aren't interesting to you, please feel free to skip through. And anything that I talk about, the patterns, the yarn, anything else that I talk about, techniques and so on, I provide links down below in the show notes. But you're more than welcome to email me or to message me or whatever if you have any other questions. You can find me on Instagram, Ravelry, Ko-fi, I think that's it. As Mumino or Made by Mumino, but all of the links are down below. So let's start with what I'm wearing today. So today I thought it's a beautiful sunny day outside, but it's still a little bit chilly. So I thought I'd get my Florence out. This is a test knit that I did about a year ago, I think, for Eleanor Mortensen. And it's a really, really cute little fingering weights, colour work, round yoke construction sweater that I made in Mondim and Castor Lace. This one was from the Wee Yarn Company and in the colourway The Swan. And it's a gorgeous lace weight yarn that's works beautifully if you hold it double. And that's what I've done here to make it into a fingering weight to go with the Mondim from Retrosaria. And it's just a really cute little sweater. I'll put a picture up here of me wearing it. I've chosen to do mine as all over colour work, although I didn't do colour work on the arms. I think if I was going to make it again, I think I might put colour work on the arms as well, because it's just so pretty. And I just love that colour work detail around the hem as well. And it's just a really nice, easy sweater to wear. I mean, as with all round yoke constructions, you can see if I do this, I end up with this fold of fabric here. You can kind of avoid that if you take this measurement up here rather than the full bust measurement. But to be honest, I still get it a little bit anyway. But it's just one of those things. It doesn't really bother me. But it's such a pretty sweater. I really, really enjoy wearing this. It's made on 3.5mm needles, which is a US 4. I got gauged with the recommended needles. And in total, I used about 1,500 metres. But bear in mind that for the colour work bit, that was hull double. So that's why the meterage went up a little bit. It's available in how many sizes? I was trying to be organised and I got it all open and ready to talk to you about. It's available in 13 sizes from 97 to 180 centimetres. It doesn't have it in inches. Oh yes, it does. From 38.1 inches to 70.8 inches. And as you can see, I've done mine with negative ease. So it's really quite fitted, especially on the arms and things. But I really like this jumper. It's really nice and easy to wear. And definitely would make another one. I love Eleanor Mortensen patterns. Her earlier ones don't tend to be as size inclusive as her more recent ones. But I think she's been going back and regrading a couple of them. For instance, the Dala sweater that you might have seen that I made at Christmas. I don't think that one's very size inclusive. I think it's quite limited on the upper sizes. So but this one is size inclusive and it's really, really pretty and I thoroughly enjoyed test knitting it for her. very briefly, I have been ridiculously busy the last couple of weeks and I haven't got nearly as much crafting and things done as I normally would have done. Hence recording a day late as well, because normally I release episodes on a Tuesday. It's, good stuff and, normal boring adulty stuff. It's great being an adult because in theory I could just have apple crumble and ice cream for dinner and go to bed at 7 o'clock. But also there's pesky responsibilities to deal with. So yes, I've been ridiculously busy over the last couple of weeks. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm behind on checking the entries for the cable mal. So if you've been here before, you may have seen that I'm hosting a cable mal. So any cable projects, and you can enter your finished objects on Ravelry. There's a Ravelry group that's linked down below. You can also tag me on Instagram with your finished objects and your projects, your works in progress, because it's nice to see them. And you can also email me pictures of your finished objects as well to enter. And the closing date for entries is at the end of this month, April 2026. And so you still have a bit of time if you want to cast on a little pair of hand warmers or something like that. But I thought I would remind you what the prizes are. So we've had loads of lovely entries already. But this is some beautiful sock yarn that I picked up in Iceland a few weeks ago. That was dyed in Iceland. This is some beautiful yarn that was dyed locally in the Banau Brecaniog and Brecon Beacons in Wales when I went back there at the beginning of this year. And this is also dyed in Wales in the Banau Brecaniog. So these, there's a colour theme. I went for purples this time, purples and pinks. These are the 3 prizes that are up for grabs. Also with those, I will be sending some super cute, let's get these the right way around, super cute little stitch markers that were also made in the Banau Brecaniog in Abergavenny by a lady there in a knitting group in the Woolcroft in Abergavenny, which is a really gorgeous little yarn shop. And if you want a little tour of it, I think maybe it was episode 52. I'll put a link up here. And also, my dad does a little bit of leather working, and he's made these gorgeous little DPN cases. Now, if you're a vegan and you prefer not to have this, don't worry. If you win, we'll sort it out. We'll sort something else out instead. But yeah, he's made these really cute little DPN cases. So yeah, that's what's up for grabs with the cable mal. And with that, I will show you the cable project that I've just cast on as well. There's not a lot to show you in this project yet, but I'm keeping it in this really cute little project bag that my mum made for me. I keep all my special badges on this one. Oh, and there's one from, at the beginning of the episode, you might have seen some nice footage from Cologne. My partner and I went there a couple of weeks ago to go and see a talk by Professor Brian Cox. It's incredible how somebody can make particle physics and quantum mechanics accessible to lowly mortals like me. But I got a badge from there as well. But there's a lot of puffins, and people pick up puffins for me when they see me out when they see them out and about. But yeah, anyway, I digress. So I'm knitting this new project in this beautiful John Arbon Harvest Hues in the colour Speedwell, and it's a fingering weight yarn. And I picked this up in a yarn shop in Neuss, and there was a yarn tour of that in the last episode if you want to go back and look. And I cast on, as promised, a low tide. How often does that happen? That I say I would like to cast something on, and I actually do. But as I said, there's not a lot to show you yet. But this was a couple of days' work, just this little bit. So it's a really interesting construction. It's top down and it's a saddle shoulder. And whilst doing sort of little lace and cables, can I show you one of the cables? It's quite dark, so it's not showing up desperately well. See one of the little cables there, maybe. You see that? Anyway, whilst doing this, there we go, that's better. Whilst doing this, you're doing short rows and creating these little curved elements for shoulder shaping and things. I'm really, really, really enjoying this construction. It's very clever. I have a lot of respect for these designers who can come up with an idea, write these really incredibly complicated patterns, and then grade it really well for multiple sizes. It's incredible, really. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this project so far. I'm going to try and show you this close up as well. These adorable little stitch markers. These are by a maker, a dyer in the Netherlands called Spingodden. And if you are ever at a yarn festival in the Netherlands, she's often there, and she just sells the most beautiful, like hobbit core aesthetic colours and things, very sort of muted but also some richer colours, and very natural but also very vibrant, beautiful colours. I'm actually knitting some socks with her yarn as well at the moment. But she makes these beautiful little stitch markers. So she, on her sort of daily walk, she picks little bits of leaves and little tiny flowers and things, and then sets them in resin to make these stitch markers, and they're just adorable. They're absolutely gorgeous. I think I might get another set for myself in a slightly larger ring size if I see some more. But anyway, so yes, the Low Tide. I am making, what size am I making? I'm making the 6th size, but it comes in 10 sizes altogether, from a chest circumference of 84 to 171 centimetres, or 33.5 inches to 68.5 inches. So it's a nice size inclusive pattern. And I'll put a picture up here of what the actual pullover looks like. It's beautiful. It's made on 3.5mm needles, and it is, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, so I think it might take me a while, but I have a feeling that as soon as I've got that sort of yoke set, I think it might be a little bit simpler carrying on, because at the moment I'm still kind of doing short rows and things, which is a bit more time consuming, because it doesn't really matter if you can memorise the lace pattern, you still need to then follow what's going on with the actual construction as well. But I'm using, as I said, 3.5mm needles, or a US 4, and the gauge is 22 stitches over 32 rounds in a 10cm square. So yeah, it's quite a small gauge, but it's something I really, really want to make. I saw this pattern, I think it came up on my Instagram, I thought, I have to make that. It's so pretty, looks so delicate, and it's got that sort of cable element that I'm looking for at the moment. But yes, I think I'm going to make this exactly to pattern. I might make the sleeve slightly shorter, so this sort of length. What is that, 3/4 I suppose, just because I find it easier out and about, and when I'm, you know, doing housework and things like that, just to have my sleeve a little bit further up, because I always end up just pushing them up anyway, so I might as well just make a shorter sleeve. But yeah, this is a really, really pretty pattern. Not much to show you yet, and there might not be much to show you next week either, if I'm honest, because I'm taking a short trip to the UK to go to a yarn festival, as I mentioned. And I don't think I'm going to be taking this one with me. This is not social knitting. So far I've only put in one lifeline, just you can see the thread here. So I use this really thin crochet thread to put in lifelines, and to be honest, I think I probably will put in quite a few as I go down this, because of the short rows. I think it would be quite difficult to frog it or to tink back and still keep my place. So chow goos are so useful for that. So I tend to use chow goos. Somebody asked me about this the other day, will I recommend them? Yes, but to be honest, other than Knit Pros, I haven't used anything else. So I don't know if they're better or worse or the same as other options. So if you have a favourite needle set that you like to use, please do comment down below and let people know, because yeah, there are so many different brands out there, and I just happen to have chow goos. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, chow goo is really, really useful. I think lots of other needles have it as well when you have an interchangeable set, because of that little hole at the base of the needle where you can tighten the interchangeable needle. You can also thread this really fine sort of floss through it, and as you're knitting, you're automatically pulling the lifeline along with you, which is really, really handy, to be honest, and doesn't make it a fuss if you want to add a lifeline to something. Sometimes I do like to thread a needle and actually go through and put a lifeline in, particularly when I'm not sure about my stitch count or something, because then I've got an opportunity to sort of look more closely at my knitting while I'm doing that. But yeah, I think I'll probably be using quite a few lifelines in this project, so wish me luck. But I'm really enjoying working with this beautiful yarn. I look at the colour of that, it is stunning, so pretty. So yes, this is a happy project, and I'm thoroughly enjoying following a more complicated pattern. The next project to show you is an update of a project you will have seen in the last episode, my Riggies cardigan, but I have to show you this. I'm keeping it in this tote bag. This was made by one of my favourite indie dyers, the We Yarn company, and it was made in response to somebody attempting to insult him online last year. So he thought he would own it and take the insult. And make a little tote bag out of it, which I thought was, yeah, good for you. If you're calling people out for bad behaviour, why not? Own it. So anyway, this is the finished first panel. Oh, it's got a crease in it because it was folded in the bag. First panel of my Riggies cardigan. So you will have seen it up to this point, I think, last time. I think I'd almost finished the short rows on the front. Let's put that over there. And I am just doing the ribbing on the other front panel. So this is a really cool construction. It's all garter stitch. So when you see it, I'll show you a picture of it. This is the Riggies cardigan by Gudrun Johnston in this book, Grand Shetland Adventure Knits. It is available as a standalone pattern as well. But yeah, when you see it, you think, wee, that is a lot of knitting. However, it's all garter stitch. So I was expecting this to be a really, really long-term project because of the amount of knitting. However, I think it's just going to be a really long-term project because I'll pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. So yeah, all of the panels are constructed that way round. So you get the garter ridges that way. But then when they're put together, it's that way round. So they're all going vertically instead. So yes, I finished the second front panel. And I'm just putting in the garter rib here. But again, it's so clever. Using short rows to create shaping is such a cool idea. I'm really, really enjoying it. So yeah, that's where I am with that. I am using, if I put that over there as well, I am using 2 cones of woolly knit, so I'm holding this double. And this is not a portable project. These are 500-gram cones of 4-ply yarn, complete with little bits of grass. Yeah, so this will definitely be enough for this whole project. I might even have a little bit left over, but we shall see. I've got quite a few scraps of woolly knit cones lying about, and I was thinking of doing a really big weaving project or a big blanket or something. But anyway, yeah, this colour is called Dark Apple, and I think it's going to be really easy to wear. It's relatively neutral. It'll go with most things that I'm wearing, you know. I tend to go for these sorts of earthy colours, to be honest. And yeah, really enjoying knitting with it. The fabric is quite thin at the moment, but when this is blocked, it really, really blooms. And as I've said previously, if you get some of this and you try knitting with it, I really, really do recommend doing a little gauge swatch and just making sure that you're happy with the fabric, because it will bloom a lot after it's blocked. So yeah, some woolly knit cones, making a nice big workhorse cardigan that I'm going to really enjoy wearing, I hope. The next project to show you is a WIP that I haven't touched in a few months actually. I was getting some wrist pain when I was working on it. I'm keeping it in a giant Christmas bag that my mum made. She does make these beautiful, beautiful project bags. But sadly she doesn't sell them. I must work on her about that one. Anyway, so I had a yarn advent from Het Volbeest in the Netherlands, and it was Moomin themed, and it had this beautiful yarn in it. There's a lot of yarn in here. Give me just 1 second. So yes, I had 5 skeins of beautiful yarn from there, and I wanted to make a big squishy DK weight blanket with it. So I wanted to hold it with a skein or a cone of woolly knit throughout to make a nice big squishy fun blanket. How can I show you all these? So these are the colours from the advent, and as you can see I've used up a lot of them from 5 100-gram skeins already. I'm also mixing it in with some other colours that I had left over from a previous year from Lay Family Yarn. So these lovely peachy colours, a little bit of a warm grey. What else have I got in here? Gosh, I'm going to end up regretting rummaging around in here, I think. There's this other sort of warm peachy pinky tone, and there's also a dark plummy maroony sort of colour. But yes, I'm putting all of it together. I want to make a giant squishy blanket in DK, and the first half of the blanket I held all of those with like this really strong blossom pink colour from Woolly Knit, and the second half I'm holding with this beautiful grey blue colour, also from Woolly Knit. And this was left over from a project that my mum did. She made an anchor sweater a few years ago, and she didn't know what to do with the leftovers, so I liberated them. Yeah, so I'm making progress on my blanket. I think the last time you saw this, I think it was down here, and I'm at the widest point at the moment, and I've just started decreasing for the second half. So I don't know if you've seen the Pearl Soho half and half triangles wrap. I was kind of going for that kind of look. I wanted one half in the pink, the other half in the blue, but with the same background colours being repeated throughout in nice wide stripes. And this is so difficult to show you, but this is where I am so far. And I love that all of the colours in the first half are going to look totally different in the second half because they're being held with a different background colour. Yeah, I'm enjoying this, especially now that I've started decreasing and the end is in sight. But this is going to be quite a big blanket. The pattern I'm using isn't a blanket pattern, it's the traditional dishcloth from Stacey Perry, also known as Very Pink Knits, and it's a free pattern. You just cast on a few stitches, and then every row you knit two and do a yarn over, knit two and do a yarn over, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, gradually then increasing. So after a dishcloth, you would start decreasing after, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 rows, depending on what your gauge is. But here I'm just increasing until I got bored. Actually, it was excuse me, it was until I ran out of the pink yarn, and yeah, then I started decreasing. So it's going to be a very big, squishy, cozy blanket to have on the sofa. And yeah, I'm really enjoying picking it up every now and again. I decided to knit on it in the mornings when I'm having my coffee. We get up really early. We get up at about, well, it's relative, isn't it? It feels early for me. We tend to get up at about 6, but often it's before then. And I'll sit quietly for half an hour to wake up and have the first coffee of the day. Yeah, I sit and knit on it, and it got to the stage where in half an hour I was just doing one row, just about, but now it's more like sort of 2 rows again, which is really nice. But it's going to be a big blanket. Oh, it's so much fun, isn't it? I love the fact that it looks kind of scrappy, but it's not scrappy. It's got beautiful yarn in it, and yeah, it's going to be an absolute pleasure to use, and I'm thoroughly enjoying working on something nice and simple and very, very satisfying. Okay, the next project to show you is a secret project. I can show you, but I just can't show my partner. It's his birthday coming up, so I'm making him something. So somebody in the comments referred to him as Mr. Mumino, which I loved. His name is Anastasios. He's Greek. He was born here in Germany, but he still has Greek citizenship. In fact, last weekend it was Greek Orthodox Easter. It was so much fun. We had a really nice time with his family and going to church in the middle of the night to go and light loads of candles. I'm not religious at all, but I do enjoy lighting lots of candles in church. It has a really nice vibe, really nice feeling. And yeah, his mother is really involved in the church, and she does the singing that goes on all the way through a service. I don't know if you've ever seen a Greek Orthodox service. It's like this steady chant goes on all the way through. And she's one of the singers. She's a very devout religious person, and it's lovely to go and support her in that. And yeah, why not? It's a bit of fun. But anyway, I'm making him a secret project. So Anas, if you're watching, please skip to the next chapter. Bless him, he does watch all of my episodes. I don't know why. It must be very boring for him. But anyway, I did a bad thing. Ross at the Wee Yarn Company, who I've now mentioned 3 times, is sort of destashing some of his spaces. He's no longer going to be stocking at the moment he's not going to be stocking any more of his Dance with DK, so it was all 15% off. There might still be some available, I'm not sure. So I ordered six skeins of this gorgeousness. The colour is, like, it should be really easy to say, Labradorite, which is a mineral, is on his, thanks DK, Dorka. Oh gosh, I can't talk at the moment. Dorka worsted. So this is 33% blue faced Leicester, 33% Falklands Merino, and 33% Svartblås, and it's 100 grams per 200 meters. And he has dyed it up in these gorgeous colours, and I bought 6 of them. And I've cast on yesterday a pullover for my partner. Again, this is a most frustrating episode, I imagine, because I can't really show you my projects very well. They're either too big or too small. But I've cast on a simple little raglan jumper for him. It's going to be no fancy business, just a raglan to show off this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful yarn. You can see how it's knitting up. My go-to plain raglan pattern is a puntal. I'll put a picture up here by Belén Fernandez, and it's just a really nice construction. It's nice and simple. It's very well written, really, really well explained, down to colour coding your stitch markers for the raglan. So it was the first ever raglan jumper that I made, and yeah, I really do recommend it if it's your first time thinking about knitting a raglan jumper. It's really, really, really accessible. And I've made so many of these for my partner and for other people. I'll put up a couple of other pictures of ones that I've done here. Yeah, I made a gorgeous stripy one for my brother for Christmas a couple of years ago, out of loads of woolly knit leftovers. Yeah, so this is yet another one. But when the yarn is skeined up, this is what it looks like. It is plump and squishy and gorgeous, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy knitting on this. I think I'm going to take this with me to the UK next week when I'm travelling back. I think this is going to be quite a portable project. So as a little tip for you, if you don't want to keep referring to the pattern when you're doing raglan increases, I use a little bulb marker at the beginning of the round, and I move it to the beginning of the round when I'm doing an increase round, and so I can see where the last increase round was. Also, I put another stitch marker in at the end of the first increase round, so that, say you have to do, I don't know, 40 rounds or whatever with alternate increase rounds, you don't have to keep marking them off. You can just see and count where your 40 rounds are or whatever. So yeah, I find removable bulb markers really useful for that kind of thing, so you don't have to keep, well, I prefer not to keep doing a little tally chart of how many rounds I've done, for knitting in the car or knitting in an airport or whatever. So yeah, I cast that on yesterday and did a little bit of work on it, and yeah, I'm pretty sure this will come to the UK with me. I'm going for, I think, 5 days, so I think if I take that plus 2 skeins, will I get through that? Probably. I don't know. It's really difficult to know what to take with you when you're going away somewhere. My little rule of thumb is, when you've got your projects ready to you picked out what you're going to take with you, take one of them away because you will not knit on all, well, I don't anyway. I won't knit on all of them, even though I have these intentions of doing so much knitting when I'm out and about. In reality, there's lots of social stuff going on, or going out with people, or going to see things, and not as much knitting time as when I'm at home. So yeah, usually I put my project out and take one away. So yeah, I think I'll take one extra skein with me. I don't know, maybe 2. I don't know. What do you do when you go away? Do you take lots of knitting with you, or do you just focus on whatever it is that you're going away to do? I never know what to do. Anyway, so yes, Puntal, fantastic raglan pattern, nice and simple. Knit it so many times and it's very customizable. As you would have seen in the picture, the original pattern is for 3 different colours, but I've knitted a few plain, I've knitted a few striped. Yeah, it's just a really, really, really nice pattern that I can only recommend. So, have I got anything else to show you? Yes, one moment. I have a finished sock. This is the Spin Godin yarn that I was telling you about, and I've made some cute 2x2 rib socks. So I finished the first one and I cast the other one on a few days ago, And this is my current handbag knitting project with this beautiful yarn. Absolutely gorgeous. I think when I finish these I might make another Musselburgh. It's been a while, so yeah, I might make another one, we'll see. But no, I'm really enjoying working with this yarn. It's very soft, very, very soft and squishy. There's something really special about this sort of indie dyed superwash sock yarn. It's just a real pleasure to work with. It's just nice and easy. And the only problem with it is if you drop a stitch or something, it does tend to run down a little bit because it's not woolly wool. But I really do enjoy making socks out of this. So yeah, I think that's the last thing I've got to show you today. That was a total lie. It's not the last thing, but this is weaving. So if you're not interested, feel free to skip through. Apologies for the creasedness. The creasedness? How creased it is. I've just washed this. I took it off the loom yesterday and I've washed it. So yeah, I have some wonderful, wonderful news. My brother and his wife, they're going to have a baby and I'm so excited about it. And my first thought was I'm going to start making some little baby jumpers and things. I've got some ideas and I've got some pink cotton yarn that I'd like to use for it. But anyway, I thought, you know what? Everyone always focuses on baby clothes and things. I'm going to make something for my sister-in-law instead to start off with. So I had lots of leftover beautiful indie dyed cotton and linen and a bit of silk, so I thought I'd make her a big wrap because I thought maybe she would like that, or if she was breastfeeding or whatever, it might be nice to wrap around herself if she's out and about. So I made a beautiful wrap for her. Oh, I messed up the warp on this. I don't know what I did. As I was winding up the warp, I must have twisted the loom a little bit because on one side it was a bit too loose, so one of my edges isn't as neat as it should be. But this is just being washed, so it needs a little bit of an iron, a little bit of a press, a little bit of a steam maybe. But I'm super happy with this. This is all leftovers from other projects. So this green is a beautiful silk from Norrow. This is and this pale pink is a silk linen blend from Sandner's Garn, and this blue is an indie dyed cotton. It's just really, really, really pretty yarn. I thought it's too good to waste, so I would make a really nice, bright, colourful, happy shawl for her. And yeah, I'm really happy with that, so I'll take this back to the UK for her. And yeah, if you're watching, Anjali, hi. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. It was a really fun project to make. It was very satisfying. I don't know if you find this, when you're making something for somebody else, that person is always in your thoughts when you're making it. And it's just so lovely. Oh God, this is going to sound really daft, but it's so lovely the thought of all those good vibes going into the project that you're making and sort of thinking about what the person is going to do with it or whatever. So no, I get a real kick out of making things for other people sometimes. So yes, this was made on my Ashford Rigid Heddle loom, and I got myself a new reed for it with the smallest reed that's available because I knew I was going to be using lots of fine fibres for this. And it was quite challenging actually to warp it up. I'm still quite new at weaving, and because all of the sort of where you put your warp through, it was so fine and very close together. I did end up double warping it a couple of times, and it just means then you've got to move everything along as you're going. So the actual warping process took a lot longer than it normally would. But I'm happy with the outcome, so it's all good, and I'm really looking forward to giving that to her next week. So I think that is it for now. I don't think I have anything else to tell you about, other than to say a huge, huge, huge thank you for joining me today. It's really, really a pleasure. Yeah, enjoy the little tour of my yarn stash. Please remember this is a zone of no judgment, and also I've got lots and lots of single skeins left over from other projects. I don't really know what to do with them, if I'm honest. There's only so many hats that you can make for people, so if you've got any ideas of what I could do with all of those single skeins that you will see, please do let me know. Also, if you're shorter skein, if you have some of the same yarn, message me and let me know, because maybe one of my skeins or whatever will be of use to you. So yeah. Anyway, enjoy, and I will see you in 2 weeks with lots of footage from Wonderwall in Wales, and I'm thoroughly enjoying taking you on a little trip there. So take care. Bye bye.